Do you still believe that high cholesterol is the main culprit behind heart attacks and strokes? The shocking truth is, it's actually the soft plaque inside your arteries, not your cholesterol number, that silently puts your life at risk. This type of plaque doesn't cause pain. You won't feel it coming. But when it suddenly ruptures, it can block blood flow in an instant, triggering a devastating stroke or heart attack without warning. What's even more dangerous? Many people think they're healthy just because their blood work looks normal. So how can you eliminate this hidden danger before it strikes? In today's video, you'll discover 5 powerful nutrients backed by top medical research that can help reduce chronic inflammation, protect your blood vessels, and most importantly, remove artery-clogging plaque before it becomes a threat. And the final nutrient on the list? It's a time-tested enzyme from Japan with over 1,000 years of history, but it's now taking modern medicine by storm. Before we dive into the first nutrient, let me share a story that recently happened in New Mexico. Walter, a 68-year-old retired engineer, lives in a quiet town just outside Santa Fe. His greatest joy? A small organic garden in his backyard, where he grows tomatoes, basil, and peppers, all nourished with rainwater he carefully collects. Every morning, he steps outside with a notebook in hand, recording the day's harvest, the weather, and even the texture of the leaves. Gardening wasn't just a hobby, it was how he stayed active, grounded, and connected to something meaningful. For Walter, health was never something to worry about. He ate mindfully, avoided processed foods, and always kept up with his routine checkups. But one afternoon, while picking basil under the warm New Mexico sun, he felt a strange sensation, like someone had quietly placed a heavy stone on his chest. No sharp pain, just pressure. It passed within minutes, so he ignored it. A week later, during a routine visit, his doctor noticed early signs of soft plaque buildup in his arteries. Walter was stunned. "But I've done everything right." That's when his doctor explained, even the best habits can't fully shield you if inflammation and silent plaque rupture are already at work beneath the surface. That moment changed everything. Walter didn't need panic, he needed clarity. And that's what led him to explore science-backed ways to protect his arteries, starting with what you're about to discover now.
Number 5. Tocotrienols, the superior form of vitamin E. Most of what you've heard about vitamin E failing to protect the heart is based on a major scientific misunderstanding. Here's my perspective from analyzing the history of the research. Vitamin E is not a single compound. It's a family of 8 related molecules divided into 2 branches, 4 tocopherols and 4 tocotrienols. For decades, nearly all the large, multi-million-dollar studies focused on only one of these, and not even the most powerful one, alpha-tocopherol. They essentially bet on the wrong horse. When those studies came back with disappointing results, the message that spread worldwide was vitamin E doesn't work. But that isn't the whole story. The research didn't fail. It was incomplete. They ignored the other 7 members of the family, especially the tocotrienol branch, which is like a special ops team compared to the infantry soldier tocopherol. So what can tocotrienols do that their well-known sibling can't? The fundamental issue is inflammation, the slow, simmering fire that damages our artery walls. The unique structure of tocotrienols, with their shorter, more flexible tail, allows them to move through cell membranes 40 to 60 times more effectively. This superior mobility means they can extinguish the flames of inflammation right at the source, with far greater power. They aren't just an upgrade, they are designed for the job. When you pick up a bottle of vitamin E, flip it over. If the label only says D-alpha tocopherol, you're holding the form used in those older, less effective studies. Instead, look for products that clearly state full-spectrum vitamin E or mixed tocotrienols. This ensures you get the benefit of the entire family, not just a single isolated member. This knowledge also empowers you to have a more productive conversation with your doctor. Instead of asking a general question, you can start a more informed dialogue. Try this. Doctor, I've learned that the older studies on vitamin E mostly used alpha tocopherol alone. What is your perspective on using a full-spectrum vitamin E that includes tocotrienols to help fight inflammation? A question like this shows you are an engaged partner in your health and opens the door for a more valuable discussion. Quenching inflammation is a vital first line of defense. But what if calcium has already started to accumulate in your arteries? How do we begin to address that buildup?
Number 4. We look at an ancient remedy that has been validated by modern science: aged garlic extract. The problem goes beyond soft plaque. It's also about calcification. This is a process that causes your arteries to become hard, brittle, and lose their elasticity, much like an old, corroded water pipe. When arteries stiffen, blood pressure naturally rises, and the risk of a plaque rupture becomes significantly higher. This is a silent but extremely serious risk factor. The special aging process for this garlic not only reduces its pungent odor, but more importantly, it creates highly stable and biologically active antioxidant compounds. You can think of these compounds as a hard-working maintenance crew. Their job is to slow the deposit of calcium into the artery walls, helping to keep your body's pipes flexible and supple. Numerous human clinical studies have highlighted the impressive ability of aged garlic extract to significantly slow the progression of arterial calcification. It is critical, however, to make sure you choose the right product, specifically aged garlic extract, not common garlic powder. And as always, please consult your physician before adding it to your regimen, especially if you are taking blood-thinning medication.
Number 3. Pynogenol. Arriving at the third spot on our list is Pynogenol, a unique and well-researched extract from the bark of the French maritime pine tree. The inner lining of your arteries, known as the endothelium, is under constant attack from free radicals, unstable molecules generated by metabolism and environmental factors. This assault creates microscopic nicks and scratches on the artery walls. It is in these tiny damaged spots that cholesterol and other substances can easily latch on, beginning the formation of a plaque. Pynogenol acts like a powerful rust-proof coating for the inside of your arteries. As one of the most potent antioxidants known, it helps neutralize these damaging free radicals, thereby protecting the integrity of the artery wall. Beyond that, it has also been shown to help the body boost its production of nitric oxide, a crucial molecule that helps blood vessels relax and widen, which in turn improves blood circulation. Studies have looked at pynogenol's role in improving endothelial function and supporting circulatory health. While this is a well-studied supplement, its value for your individual health should still be evaluated by a medical professional. Always consult with your doctor. Try this. Doctor, beyond my cholesterol numbers, I'm becoming very focused on my endothelial function. I understand that poor nitric oxide production can lead to arterial stiffness. What are your thoughts on proactive strategies to support my body's own NO production and maintain vascular flexibility? So, we've talked about protecting the artery wall, but what happens if the enemy, in this case calcium, is already inside the body and simply going down the wrong path?
Our number 2 nutrient will help us solve one of the greatest paradoxes in health. And now we arrive at our runner-up, vitamin K2. This is the answer to one of health's greatest paradoxes. How do you get calcium into your bones and keep it out of your arteries? We're often told to take calcium for strong bones, yet we simultaneously fear the calcification of our arteries. Isn't that a contradiction? The truth is, the problem isn't the calcium itself, but where it ends up. Calcium in your bones is a great thing, but calcium deposited in your arteries is a disaster waiting to happen. Think of vitamin K2 as your body's intelligent and diligent traffic cop. It activates specific proteins that act as guides. When calcium comes along, these proteins, under the command of K2, essentially say, "You go to the bones and teeth." At the same time, they put up a barrier, preventing calcium from being deposited in the soft tissues of the artery walls where it can cause harm. The famous Rotterdam study, which followed thousands of people for a decade, showed a powerful link between higher vitamin K2 intake and significantly better cardiovascular health. However, and this is the most critical point you need to understand, vitamin K2 can directly interact with anticoagulant drugs like warfarin. Absolutely do not take K2 on your own if you are on these medications without strict medical supervision and approval. Controlling calcium is a game-changing step, but what if we could directly target the very protein net that holds plaques and clots together?
Our number one nutrient does exactly that. And now, at the number one spot is the nutrient you've been waiting for. Nattokinase, an extraordinary enzyme discovered in a 1,000-year-old Japanese breakfast food. The story goes that during the transport of soybeans, the heat and natural fermentation created natto, a sticky, pungent dish. But hidden within this humble food was a powerful medical secret, and that secret is the enzyme nattokinase. Here is the heart of the matter. Plaque and dangerous blood clots are held together by a tough, sticky protein mesh called fibrin. Breaking down this mesh is the key to addressing the root cause of blockages. Nattokinase is one of the few natural compounds studied for its ability to directly dissolve fibrin strands. Imagine it as a biological solvent, gently dissolving the mesh holding a clot together, thereby helping to improve blood flow and reduce the risk of obstruction. The initial research on nattokinase is very promising for supporting circulatory health, but just like with vitamin K2, it demands extreme caution. Because it acts like a natural blood thinner, nattokinase should not be used in combination with prescription anticoagulants or antiplatelet drugs like aspirin, Plavix, or warfarin without explicit guidance from your doctor. Combining them could significantly increase the risk of bleeding. Many people only begin to care about their arteries after their heart has already sounded the alarm. But when a heart attack or stroke strikes, you may not get a second chance. Now that you know about natural enzymes and science-backed nutrients that can reduce inflammation, remove arterial plaque, and restore healthy blood flow, don't wait. Talk to your doctor. Ask better questions. Be an active partner in protecting your heart. A small step today could be the reason you're still here tomorrow.